Hello my lovely sewing friends, my name's Kathryn and you're very welcome to my sewing channel Serenity Sews. I'm here today to share with you my makes for the hashtag So Frugal 22 run by Sam from Frugalisima and also Ruan of the Yorkshire Sewgirl. I know I'm late, more than a week late actually, but life got in the way last week and I couldn't do what I wanted to, so better late than never, and I'm here now. So I want to go through with you what I managed to get done. I managed to get almost everything done that I said I would, and just my thoughts really on how that was and what I made. And I'll start with what I am actually showing you hanging behind me. So this is the Nino Jacket. I will put some photos of me wearing this at the end, and it's in this beautiful periwinkle blue medium weight linen, and there is the embroidered emblem I managed to put on the back, which I love, and it really complements the fabric, I think. I'm just going to go through my notes and just share a little bit with you. So it's a pattern by Fabric Store. It's a free pattern, which if you sign up to their website, you have access to all the free patterns, and there are many. Some of them are much more complex than others, but this is an easy sew, and the size range is phenomenal. You've got from 0 right the way up to 30, which is a huge range of sizes for a free pattern. So I think that's really good. I can't recommend that highly enough. I made a size 12 to 14, and the reason I did that was because the measurements to choose were 39 to 40 inch for the bust and 31 to 32 waist, 41 to 42. Now I'm slightly bigger in the hip than that, but the overall finished garment measurements, which very clearly put in the pattern, measure for the first 6 sizes up to a 51 bust. So I knew that this would be really big enough, and in fact might have to make slight adjustments. The only adjustment I made was to take a little bit out the shoulder, and I just shaved away ½ an inch on the shoulder because I felt it was just a little bit too much in terms of how it fitted me around the neck, because I am quite small across here. It recommends that you need 2 yards of fabric. This is an Australian pattern company, so I'm saying that, I'm sure it is. I will check that. And I had 1.5 meters, but I sort of knew that it would fit, and so I measured everything before, and I could see that my 1.5 meters would fit really well. The first thing to do for me really was to look at where I wanted the placement of the embroidery. So before I even cut anything out, I measured the back and then cut that section of the fabric out, making sure I'd got enough for the front and the sleeves and the inner pockets. Why I do that is because I've got a FAF Creative Icon embroidery and sewing combined machine, and I wanted to put it on the embroidery hoop and have it stretched out so that I wasn't fiddling with it once it was finished. I did that and that worked really well. I backed it with my normal paper and made sure that it was not stretching too much, because remember, this is linen and you've got a loose weave, but it was fixed to the paper, the embroidery paper, enough that I knew it wouldn't have wrinkles in. And then off it went. Do you know what? The thing that took me the longest time was choosing the floral pattern, the floral design to go on the back, because I knew I wanted flowers, and I normally choose roses, and I didn't particularly feel that roses complemented this blue fabric. So you can tell the detail that I actually thought about here. So I found this gorgeous kind of daisy pattern, and this was one that came with the sewing machine, so I didn't really have to do much. I did alter the colour slightly of the flowers, which of course you can do. You can choose whichever thread you're going to use, and I'm so pleased with this. I'm going to put it on actually so you can see why I'm pleased with it. I know that I'll wear it lots, because one thing in the UK, it's never guaranteed that we are going to be warm all day long, but as you can see, it's just a nice weight. It's loose enough to feel comfortable, but I think as well, I am going to try and turn around. Sorry, this isn't very good for the screen, but I just really think it works, and I don't know whether I'll do it again, but actually I think that it's a useful jacket. Now I'm going to take it off and I'm going to just show you the pockets, because it's really interesting how they're constructed, because the pocket section goes all the way along and is so easy to do. It's great, but it fits into the seam line on both sides, and then you just stitch down 2 lines so that it makes the pocket easy to access. You've even got kind of little sections there and towards the edge, but I really like that, and it's discreet, but it's also really practical. So I would recommend this jacket. I actually gave it a 10 out of 10 for my kind of assessment of it. And if anyone is interested in seeing how to do that placement, pattern placement, because I did think about, shall I do it on the pockets as well? And I just thought, if I did it, it might be too much to put it on both pockets at the front. So I just went with the back, and I'm thrilled with that. So it's a simple construction, a simple jacket made in a beautiful fabric that I know will be so important in my wardrobe, spring, summer, even autumn. And actually, will I make another? Maybe, and maybe in a different fabric. But as far as this challenge went, I was thrilled to pieces with that one. So that's the first item I want to share with you. Now the second one is what I'm wearing, and this is some beautiful lightweight cotton lawn. And if you can remember back, one of the other free patterns that was recommended, and actually by Sam of Frugalisima, is the Maison Fauve or Fauve, I'm not quite sure how it's pronounced, Tilde Blouse. And this is a pattern company, French pattern company, and a free pattern that was brought to my attention by Sam, actually. Now, I like a lot of the French pattern makers. The cut is so just right, I find, for my sizing. I don't know whether it's because my frame is smaller. I'm certainly not small all over, as you know, but I had a great kind of sense that this would be good proportions for me. So let me just talk you through a little bit. The pattern is in European sizing, and the free pattern does have instructions both in French and in English, which is obviously important, particularly if you're making this for the first time. Size range that I chose was 96 to 98 centimetres, and the hip measurement was 104 to 108. I'll just check. So that put me in a size 42, but it goes from a 34 all the way up to a 52, which again I think is a huge range of sizes for a free pattern. Now, she also does a video tutorial, and it is in French, but you can put subtitles on for this. Now, the measurements for the fabric are very, very economical. I was quite surprised. So for the long sleeve version, you do need, for my size, about 1.3, and I think I could have got it out of less than that, but I had 1.5, so there was fabric left over. It actually fits me true to size, I would say. If I compare it to other patterns, I would say this is around a size 14, and 38 to 39 across the high bust measurement. So I liked the fact that reviews said it was true to size. It recommends that you can make it in a lot of fabric choices, going from a viscose, obviously, right the way up to a jacquard, and even a lace fabric, which I thought was interesting. She does recommend that you choose fabrics that are supple and have movement. Now, why that is important is, I'm just going to lower the camera slightly, because as you can see, you've got a kind of trapeze style hemline, so it flows out, and that is really a nice feature of this pattern, because it doesn't come snug from anywhere other than under the arms, and I like that because it's not overwhelming. I used, as I said, some lightweight cotton lawn, and that does give a little bit of structure to the sleeve head, which I'm not bothered about. Don't normally choose gathered sleeves, but they're very subtle. They're not kind of overwhelming and overpowering. What is so nice about this pattern is the detailing again on the front and the sleeves of the pattern. So what I can show you there is the front has this lovely little stitch down pleat detail, and that's also replicated in the sleeve there, coming down to the cuff. I just thought it's so unusual, because you don't usually have any kind of attention on the sleeve itself, and as you can see here, it's graduated. I think I did it more than it actually said, but again, a lovely little bit of detail. The neckline is just perfect for me. I don't feel it's too high up. It sits nicely. The facing has turned in well. And to me, that works. I can't recommend this pattern highly enough. I am going to make something else in it. I'm going to try something a little more drapey, like a viscose. But for a free pattern, ladies, if this is your kind of style, I would say absolutely give it a try. And a simple make. It's not that fussy. Probably the most complicated part of this is putting the pleating in the correct way, but then it's just a loop button fasten at the back of the neckline, which I know most of us prefer that, and it sits nicely at the hip, which, as you will know, I'm all in favour of in terms of how I like to wear my clothes, but also not draw attention to an area that I'm not so happy with. Right, let's move on and talk about my final make. Now, I had intended to do a couple more things, but as I said, life gets in the way. However, I did manage to make some linen pants or trousers. In actual fact, they're more of a culotte, I would say. Yeah, probably more of a culotte. I'd downloaded the fabricstore.com free trouser pattern. Well, crisp linen pants, they call it. So I had that, but unfortunately I didn't have the required amount of fabric that they needed. So I went to an old pattern that I've used before, which is Style Arc Daisy designer pants, and managed to use my fabric of 1.5 meters to get these done. So let me talk you through what I did. I made a size 16. I used this, I don't know whether you can see, no, probably not. I will put the pictures of it. No, you can't. So I used some off-white medium weight linen that I think I bought last year from Sewgirl in Ashby. There's not much to say about these except they've got quite impressive pocket details on, which you can see there. I did it exactly as the pattern asked me to. I'm not sure they're my favourite kind of pockets. I do like a pocket in trousers. What I do like is that they fit nicely around my middle, and they're just an inch lower than where my natural waistline is, and I find that comfy. I don't like things too tight around my middle. I also feel that these, whilst they're quite useful, I don't know whether I would wear them in the daytime. I'd probably wear them more of an evening, because when you've got 2 grandsons and you're on holiday or something, it's not always practical to wear off-white. I think they go well with the outfit that I've made, and that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a look using as much as I could the free patterns. So I feel like I've achieved that, and I'm happy that I managed to get a full outfit out of it, and I will wear everything together, as you can see. Overall, this has been a very interesting and I would say a quite productive exercise for me. I've found 2 patterns that I would absolutely recommend and make again. The jacket is gorgeous and I do love it. It's hard for me to choose between the blouse and the jacket, which I would put as my number 1. probably because I would wear this even now, even though we're in kind of less than 10-degree temperatures, the blouse. And I'm certainly going to make this again. It will be a pattern that I probably use all year round, just choosing different fabrics to make it work for me. So if I had to, I would say it's the Tilde Blouse. But overall, I've enjoyed exploring what's out there free pattern wise. And the other part I enjoyed very much was choosing the embroidery for the jacket and placing it so that it didn't overwhelm me and that the jacket actually was part of the embroidery and the embroidery part of the jacket, if that makes sense. So that's my thoughts. Those are my reflections. I am going to come back to you very shortly. I am doing my next video for A to Z of sewing skills, and that should be coming out to you pretty soon. And then I guess I'm going to have to do a fabric haul because I have been getting bits and bobs or parcels and parcels, which oh, I'm sorry, someone's knocking now, honestly. So I have got a nice collection of fabrics to share with you and show you, so I'm going to do that. Not quite sure yet what I'm going to make with them, but I'll have a look. So next week will be sewing skills, and then we'll wait and see. I'd love to know what you would like me to produce for you in terms of video content. I'm always happy to hear what you're sewing and what you think. And I'm always actually bowled over by the fact that people bother to watch and to listen to me. So I'm going to say goodbye now, and I hope you have enjoyed seeing what I did. And I am sorry it's late, but you know, life and that. So take care, my sewing friends, keep sewing and be kind. Bye for now.